The third game yesterday was the Wizards and the Bulls, and obviously I'm a longtime Bullets/Wizards fan. And we don't really win games down the stretch, but that game they won down the stretch. It was surprising. The Wizards really outplayed the Bulls in the last 6 minutes of that game, which was, I don't think the Wizards took the lead until there were about 5 minutes to play, and then once they had it, they just increased it. And every possession the Wizards had was a good one. Nene, who played so well, he had 24 points and 8 boards. He missed some shots, but every shot he missed, I was like, nope, you're 17 feet from the basket, standing by yourself. That's the shot. I don't think they blew one possession.
I was really impressed with the Wizards yesterday. Really impressed. I thought for sure that Chicago's experience, their tenacity, and their defense, and their home court, advantage would make the young Wizards buckle under the pressure.
So too. Yeah,
for sure. And they were excellent down the stretch, and they executed perfectly and got the ball to the right guy and took the right shots, made the right plays. I was so impressed with them yesterday.
Yeah, and a couple times
they're a nice team.
They're fun to watch. And that's a great-looking young backcourt. And there were a couple moments when they deny Wall the ball, and the shot clock was 3 or 4 seconds, and so Ariza would go to the hoop, and they'd come in and he'd hand the ball to Gortat, and with 1 second on the clock, they get a little layup. It was very impressive. And Gortat, first of all, his name is Marcin Gortat. There's no way that guy's athletic.
By the way,
but he's athletic.
Have you seen his face with a beard? He looks like a garden gnome. He trimmed his beard and took a little pointed tip and the bald head. He looks like a garden gnome. And he's just kicking ass out there on the court.
You expect him to be awkward.
Yeah.
But he's not awkward.
No, he's good.
Skilled.
I really like that team. And with him and Nene and Ariza. Ariza's the kind of guy that if he's on the right team, he's excellent.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's on the wrong team, he's a disaster and fairly useless.
He's always overpaid. Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but he's found a nice niche.
He had 183 pointers this year.
Yeah. So I think all 5 guys scored in double figures this year,
that's a very
right?
typical. That's a typical game.
So it was a good, solid team effort.
And the third quarter, when they got down 13, and the first half of the fourth quarter, Andre Miller going at DJ Augustine. He's bigger than. He just scored and scored and scored and scored. And the Wizards had such trouble this year. They signed Eric Maynor before the season to be the backup point guard, and he didn't work out. And they went to Temple. And until they made that deal for Miller, like all of a sudden, that's 12, 15 minutes a game. John Wall doesn't have to play. It's not the end of the world.
By the way, so I've always been a fan of Andre Miller. I always thought he was a very good player since the days he was in Utah. He's excellent in the post, very strong, and I think he's a very smart player. But he's been traded 57 times.
He and Trevor Ariza, all these guys do is go, like, they're pretty good players, and you're like, how come they keep playing 1 year for a team?
It's amazing. Like, nobody wants to keep him for more than 1 or 2 years max. I mean, he's played, I think, for 17 different teams.
He has never gotten past the first round of the playoffs.
Miller?
Yeah. So maybe he's gotten like only past the first round. It can't be that he's never won a first round series. Well, he was in Denver a long time. That's how you don't win a first round series. But he's never gotten past that anyway in all his career. So anyway, obviously the Wizards also I think have now, because the Wizards are not a great defensive team. They were last year. They're not this year because Okafor was a real defensive force. But teams have a tendency to look like they're pretty good defensive teams against the Bulls because you look there, who's on the court, and you're like, when the Bulls need a bucket, there's not really anybody to go to. And down the stretch, Thibodeau, who's just this, upper echelon coach in sports, but he doesn't play Carlos Boozer really in the fourth quarter because Noah and Gibson provide the defense that he wants. But the result is, when you need a basket, and when the Wizards went past him and they really needed to score, it is tough to score. And their one bucket down the stretch in that game, when the game was still competitive, was the tip by Noah that was very flagrant offensive goaltending, but it was such a great, cool-looking play by Noah that he got away with it.
Yeah, so, the offensive rebound and putback by Noah and Gibson are literally their best offensive plays.
Yeah, that's it. That'll make a team look like they know what they're doing on defense. So.
Yeah, so everyone else just chucks up bricks, and then if those guys get a board and put it back, good. Otherwise, they don't score. It's really hard for them to score more than 87 points a game.
That said, it was. I thought the Wizards' defensive intensity down the stretch there was impressive.